Hey everyone, it's Christine at Zeidman Development, and today just wanted to give you a quick video to talk about how Importacular matches constituent records between your import, whether you're doing an import with one of our data sources like QGIF, MobileCause, Classy, etc., or a file. Importacular allows you to customize how you match those constituents from that data source to the records in the Razor's Edge. So I have already opened a template and I've opened my criteria set so you can just kind of see what this looks like. The first thing I do want to mention is anytime you activate Importacular and create a template, there are default options set in the background. You can of course change what happens with those defaults. You can also change these for every specific template. So if you do have different needs from one import to another, you can change how the records match. The other thing I want to point out from here is that there's actually a hierarchy of ways to match. So if you can see here on my screen, I have 4 different match sets. The first one is a constituent ID. So if I have a constituent ID in my import file, then that's going to link to the constituent ID in Razor's Edge, and that's going to update the record in the Razor's Edge. If that record doesn't have a constituent ID, then it's going to go to the next layer. And my next layer is an email address. So an email address is also an exact match. So if that email address exists in the Razor's Edge and matches exactly to what's in the file, then we're going to have, again, an updated record in the Razor's Edge. If we don't have a constituent ID or an email address, then it's going to come to our next row. And we're going to go ahead and open this third row just so you can see what these look like. So this row is going to look at first name equivalents, last name, address lines, address equivalents, and zip code. Now we might want to make some tweaks to this. So we might want to also check nickname. And we probably want to change this from zip+4 to just zip code. Just because if we have zip+4, then we have to have all 9 digits of an American zip code. And most people don't type in those last 4 digits. So we probably want to make that change. We also would want to include nickname because if the donor is William Jones with the nickname of Bill in the Razor's Edge, but he gives online as Bill Jones, we want to check that nickname field to make sure that we have the right person. The first name equivalents do look for equivalent nicknames like William and Bill, which would work the same in this situation with William and Bill. But if William Jones III goes by Trey, we wouldn't have a first name equivalent because that's not a one-to-one nickname for the first name of William. Address equivalents are things like street and ST, boulevard and BLVD, known address abbreviations. So this allows us to combine the name fields with the address fields to identify our constituents. You can use combinations of the fields. This is a standard combination. You can change this around. However, I do want to mention you don't want to add too many criteria because if you do that, then it becomes harder to get matches. So you want to keep your matches logical and you want to put them in an order so that as they progress down, you get a different layering. And that way you can match on the most specific criteria first and lesser criteria later. This last row is what we call a poor match. And a poor match means that this could be a duplicate, but we want to review it on our review screen at the end of our import. So in this case, we're looking at first name and equivalents with a last name. And that way, anyone that's named William Jones in our zip code, we would see as somebody that we want to review. You could change that to zip code from zip code to city and state. You could just do first and last name. It really depends on what you want to be able to review. But it allows you to differentiate between records that you want to automatically update in the Razor's Edge versus records you want to review before you update. Now you can add more criteria here. You can add additional layers. You can remove layers. Lots of different things that can be done here to help you match these records as best as possible. I hope that this walkthrough has given you an idea of how Importacular uses criteria sets to match data to the Razor's Edge. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to check out all of the resources we have available on our website. And if you have support, reach out to our support team and we're always happy to help. Thanks so much. Have a great day.